Yo, there's a lot of news since the last time we spoke on the 9th. It's all messed up. What else do we have here? Okay, so we finished with Steve Biko, hospital. Difference between Western and African in South Africa. I'm pretty sure the racist card will be thrown in there somehow. Let's see what they have to say. Okay, so basically what they have is they have pretty middle class suburb, and on the other side of the highway is a big squatter camp. That's what they have here. I'm pretty sure it can't be fun for the people in the first group of houses or the first couple of groups of houses with all of these squatters here. They must get a lot of crime coming there. I don't know how many people got killed and raped in this area. Probably many. Either way. Let's see here. Okay, so self-determination. What's happening here? Is this a group that's trying to get self-determination for white people in South Africa, or is there something else? Let's see. I think this is definitely something to do with the white South African groups. Maybe this is also part of these Roots and Creel dude, and they were like talking about self-determination and all of that, and Western society clash with African society. It's always conflicting, it's different, and a lot of Africa does not think capitalist or etc, that kind of reasoning. And then obviously socialists always get offended when people say that they will not obey T-shirt land. Either way, if that's the case, when people talk about self-determination, they're going to talk about how it is in the townships versus in the rest of the city. Then I think I'm not going to talk about this anymore. That's enough. No problem, man. Okay, what else do we have here? ANC wants vote postponement. 2 of its councillors in prison. There you have it. Politicians in South Africa is in prison. Guys that you should be voting for. That is ridiculous. Only in South Africa, man. It's quite funny. Here's the first line of the article. It's just absolutely amazing what is regarded as normal and acceptable in South Africa these days. Okay. So basically the Democratic Alliance in South Africa won the power, municipal local election power in Port Elizabeth in South Africa, and the ANC is all better about it because that whole area there is the heartland of the old Xhosa black groups, and where Nelson Mandela and all those guys originally came from, that whole area down there. And for them it's a slap in their face, maybe a spit in their eye, that the DA actually won over the ANC there. So they keep on trying to have a vote of no confidence and throw the whole thing over so that they can get power back. Not sure it will work. The ANC is trying to throw them out, but they're saying they want to postpone it because 3 of the councillors are in jail. Oh, that is really sad. No, your councillors are in jail. 2 of your councillors are in jail. No? Whose problem is that? It's your problem. You have a bunch of criminals running the show. That's ridiculous. Here you have it. This is the way a home invasion goes in South Africa. This is housebreaking. Families sleeping, they're attacked while they sleep. And it's not a rich family. They live in Kuilsrivier, which is a fairly poor area in the Cape. Working class people living there. Maybe people with high school education, stuff like that. So they were asleep, they heard the noise in the house. She and her husband went to investigate and found two suspects. The husband approached the suspect and he assaulted the husband with a hammer. Okay. Suspects had gained entry through the front window, which they broke. Yep. Same modus operandi that they did with my uncle. Luckily my uncle woke up. Luckily my uncle had a gun and woke up. Took the television, fled on foot. That's it. So the poor guy, hopefully his skull wasn't broken. So the girl's boyfriend actually caught one of the suspects. He was still in possession of the television. And he got arrested. Good. Wow, that's an awesome result. Good for them. I hope it goes well with them. Other suspects still on the run. Good, wow. That doesn't happen a lot. You have it, a black woman lured from a tavern, strangled and raped. That happens a lot in the black areas in South Africa. Young men having no regard for the life of women, for their own women. Yeah. 57-year-old man raping a 22-year-old. Got to be kidding me. What is wrong with this guy? So the girl went and drank with him. She was quite happy drinking with him. He thought he was going to get some. It's quite interesting. So she was still willing to do the deed with him and stuff, and drink with him and sleep with him and stuff. But this guy, after he got blasted, he just decided to murder her and rape her and ruin her. Look here, it is alleged that when they arrived at his place, he closed the door, strangled and raped her. And then the police arrested the man. I mean, he could have just gotten his share of pleasure and let her go. There's no problems with it, but no. For some unknown random reason, you need to murder her. Just like, you got to be kidding me. Facing charges of rape. Maybe he did not murder her, but he strangled her. Maybe he did not murder her, but why go and do that? I mean, you're a 57-year-old man. You can have a good time with a 22-year-old woman. You know, why not just go and have a good time with the 22-year-old woman, and next week you invite her to go drink with you again and you do the same, man? What's your problem? Really? I mean, it's one thing being godless, it's another thing just being evil. This is no good. Yeah. Stolen copper cables, tons of it. There's so much stolen copper cables in South Africa, it's ridiculous. Illegal gold processing labs. Illegal mining in South Africa is now becoming the norm. I remember 25 years ago there was zero illegal gold mining in South Africa. And the theft of copper cables, it happened, but it was marginal versus what it is now. I mean, a couple of years ago they actually went into the tunnels in Johannesburg CBD and stole the power grid cables. How they got in there, God only knows. But they did that. And the Johannesburg CBD was without power for 2, 3, 4 days. You know? Yeah. Africa, just like Mogadishu. It's just like at another level. Clamp down on gang violence murders in the Cape. Business robbery foiled by off-duty policemen in Groblersdal. That's off to the policeman. Don't know if it's a man or a woman. Good for you. Good for you. Good for society. State firearm lost in fracas with violent protesters. Ooh! That's not good. So they stole a policeman's gun. 4 people were arrested, 32 to 64 years old, for violence. I mean, what's a 64-year-old doing that for? Really? I mean, there's no need. Okay, people were protesting, the roads were already barricaded, protesters were chanting, and they were hostile towards police. It's always like that in South Africa, nothing new. Hostilities reached boiling point, that's also nothing new. They started pelting police with objects, that's also nothing new. 2 members were slightly injured, that's also nothing new. And 1 police vehicle had its window smashed in, that's also nothing new. 1 state firearm was lost, now that is something new. They later found it during a subsequent crime intelligence driven operation in the area. So it looks like it might just have been dropped. Not sure if someone took it. Okay. More police came. The whole thing was brought under control. 5 people between the ages of 20 and 35 were arrested outside Lephalale, that's in the northern province. There you go, 3 big trucks and a bus were torched and used as barricades on the national road. There you have it, there's the damage. Always burning something in violent protests, have to, otherwise it's no good, it's no fun. The angry mob is fighting over chieftainship in the area. So because of that, they basically go and burn a bunch of trucks and buses and make the police's life miserable, all violent. Shame, man. Poor police, poor truck and logistics companies and bus companies, man. Need to make a living. It's already a bit tough in South Africa. Why do you have to go and make your chieftainship rivalry an issue for everybody else? The situation has been normalized until they go and do the same thing. And the municipality has been engaged. Okay. To remove the barricades. Yeah, man. Okay, so what does the Provincial Police Commissioner have to say about all of this? We condemn it by the strongest possible terms, man. We condemn it, I'm telling you. The violent nature of this protest has manifested, yeah, man. We really condemn it. You hear me? Dude, we condemn it, man. So there's the 2 communities fighting for leadership in the area. 2 black tribes fighting each other for supremacy. The other group is basically subjugated to the group that rules. Tribal wars, man, just on a smaller scale. And they have urged everyone in the area to respect the rule of law by staging peaceful protest actions. Yawn. Yawn, yawn, yawn. Triple, quadruple yawn. Really. The rest of suspects will appear in the magistrate's court soon and charged with assault on police and malicious damage of property. Yeah, well, time it doesn't. It happens the whole time. See, that's the funny part about this. So, the two groups are fighting for chieftainship of the area. The two groups, like, let's say, subgroups of a tribe. And now the one that wins, they can then go and make the rules, and everybody else goes and follow what they have to say, and they're a bit like everybody else is secondary to them. But now they just make everybody else's lives miserable. Look at that. Burning beautiful 30-ton 18-wheelers. They make the police's life miserable, injuring 2 policemen for no reason at all. Making a police van now not usable really a bit. I mean, the window's broken, but they'll probably go fix the window and the car will be out of operation. You know, it's not like there isn't crime to go and prevent and go and keep community safe in South Africa, you know? Really. What's wrong with you people? Get your head screwed on right. Okay, let's see what else is here. Okay, more drugs recovered in Cape Town. There you go. 5 life sentences and 55 years for home invasion and rape in Port Elizabeth. So someone broke into houses and raped people just to make their lives miserable. He probably didn't even enjoy it. He just raped them to make their lives miserable. Seven rape cases. Kick open a door, raping and robbing his victim at knife point. Raping a 21-year-old up to 60-year-old. This guy is really sick. It's a shame he didn't just fall on his own knife one day. Really. Ruining people's lives for no reason. And this happens so often in South Africa. Can you imagine how many more he did? Can't you tell me I only did 7 in 3 years? I don't think so. You must know how many women just like keep their mouth shut, because in South Africa rape is such a normal thing in these black communities. It just happens the whole time. These people think there is no help for them, and they think they'll just be demonized. They just keep silent and take it. Yeah, it's sad. Armed robbery arrested after shooting shots fired in shop in Bethelsdorp. Okay. Good that they caught the guy. So basically, fired some shots in the shop and they arrested him. Well done. 18-year-old. Good, get a juvenile. Get him stuck in jail for a long time so he can't do it anymore. Happy days. 3 suspects. 1 suspect pointed the firearm. Okay, so the guy was able to sort of get the door closed between him and them. And then they actually called the police. Launched a search in the area. Suspect was fitted the description, immediately chased. They arrested him. And they found the firearm and ammunition on him. Happy days. Okay, they didn't say if the other 2 were caught. Hopefully they were. Okay, glad they got caught, man. 2 women shot during violent hijacking. There you go. Yeah, South Africa for you. 1 woman was killed and injured, and another critically injured. So 1 woman was killed and another critically injured, probably dying at some point, in the early hours of yesterday morning. And that looks like it's close to Johannesburg. Or 511. Or maybe Pretoria. They arrived at the scene at midnight to find a light motor vehicle on the side of the road. Numerous members of the local authorities were found on the scene. The woman in her 50s had sustained numerous gunshot wounds, so they just basically shot the hell out of her. And she was dead. And then she had a friend with her, also in her 50s. And she had gunshot wounds on her upper body, just on her upper leg. They probably shot the artery off, and that's basically she's bleeding. That's what's critical. There you have it. They didn't even hijack the car in the end. They just shot them to bits and left. What do you mean it's hijacking? To me it just sounds like they decided to have a party and shoot up 2 old ladies. Yeah. So it sounds like the ANC's local government basically totally ruined the whole state in South Africa. They just ransacked the whole thing, fleecing the whole state of all its finances and resources, making themselves filthy rich. But they've been doing that for 25 years. Why are people only complaining now? Why are people only complaining now? They should have started complaining 20 years ago. Let's see here. What else do we have? Expropriation. I guess I'm going to see this every single day. Okay, interesting. So it sounds there is actually some kind of initiative for the Afrikaans white people. I hope it comes to something. It's my people. What is this? So someone's going to have some kind of drive through Africa to raise funds for people, impoverished people. And he's basically looking for people to help fund it. Basically per kilometer he does. Good man. Whatever way resources can be used to go and help the people in squatter circumstances, you know, especially the children and the old people, they have no way to go and look after themselves. It's rough. Yeah, state security, billions and billions missing, or gaps, blah blah blah. Politics, nah, playing the racist card for the failures of the ANC government over the last 25 years, always the same. Okay, that's it. So now we're getting to the news done before. It's been interesting. There's been some nasty stuff. There's been some criminals caught, which is really nice. I hope it's see more and more of that kind of news. Yeah, a lot of people throwing mud at each other and playing the racist cards, and you'll see more and more of this as South African society falls more and more apart. You know, if it's going well with everybody, everybody's making money, everybody's lives are being improved, then nobody has anything bad to say about anything, you know. But as soon as stuff starts falling apart, then you can really see what people think. Yeah, all the best for the week. I'm going on holiday till Tuesday next week, so have a good week. I hope it goes well with you. Bye.